Hello, I'm Nanny Miss Piercy, the founder and developer of Piercy Early Learning Practice, which is currently closed due to the current situation of the COVID-19. However, my job as an educator, I feel it is important for me to step up in this pandemic to be able to be a resource for all parents to reach out and to be able to continue the learning with their own children, now being the time that parents and family members get to stay home without choice. They can use all these resources to the best of their ability. For my own childcare that I provide to families, I have made up what I call parent resource kits, and what they are different resources for that individual child that I know personally through working within childcare, and therefore I can continue to help parents meet the developmental goals that are set out for their children and not have to be interacting personally. I can develop the boxes with all the tools, books, stories, puzzles, their favorite toys, different things that they can share now with their families at home. And then the parents can go ahead and disinfect, put them all back in the box. The box can be picked up and brought back to my center. Therefore, I go through and disinfect again. And I have enough resources on hand to provide to my families. I wish I could provide nationwide, but it's not possible. But then it's an ongoing process that the children are not bored. They're getting what they need, and we're making the best of this time that we get to spend with them at home. I encourage for all early childhood educators and maybe even teachers as well, if you can, step up and provide and try and do what you can to meet the needs of these families in this situation, as well as all of the extended family, cousins, sisters, brothers, anybody who is able and willing to step up in terms of childcare. I mean, back in the day, we as teenagers would babysit and do these things because we really had no choice, or it was just a resource there. And now is maybe the time that we start teaching our youth how to really step up and get in touch with the children and to be able to just make a huge positive situation out of this pandemic. So with that moving forward, I hope that all educators maybe try and look within themselves and what can you do to promote early learning outside of your center, but exposed to all parents. So I've made my online resource of stories that I promote daily so that any of my previous clients can just tap onto and read our favorite stories or sing our favorite songs. And it's just an ongoing resource that I hope to be able to grow and provide to essentially anybody. But in each individual community, what can you do? How can you reach out to those families and make the best of this pandemic? I just wanted to have a quick peek at some of the things that are in these plate boxes. A different variety of toys, scissors, Play-Doh, little people, worksheets, crafts. Depending on the child, the toys vary for what they prefer and how big the family is. So I'm all about silver lining and how can we take any situation and truly make the best out of it. And what I see in my profession as an early childhood educator, I know that prep time's limited, if any, and some of the things that you would like to do in your programs, you don't, again, necessarily have the time to be implementing, whether it be program change, different crafts, different things that really take time behind the scenes before implementing. So is this an opportunity where all educators can really be reflecting and really be plugging into their programs, whether it be going in an isolated time individually to spend, an hour in your classroom to go through all your craft supplies or go through all of your program work, or just switch the whole entire room and, obviously disinfect and get everything set up the way that you actually wanted to, because I know in the field we don't often get the opportunity to just start something and go right from start to finish. We have to start and stop and make sure our program is still able to run in the midst of these ideas or different things that we're trying to create or implement, as well as programs for outdoors and different things like that. Can we still go to our centers and do some gardening and set up an area or do something so that when we do get back to operation, we are that much more excited and we have that much more to come back to? It's food for thought, but I mean, if everybody put their input or gave just a little bit in this pandemic, then we could really be benefiting a lot of people, programs, children, families. And essentially, that's the goal. I do realize that teachers may not have the opportunity to get into their classrooms and go do things like that. I'm more of a home-based style early learning center and home child care and maybe different small programs. As the owner, you can just go unlock your doors and go in and do what you need to do. So I'm more gearing it to those kinds of situations, but again, how can you help your immediate family and friends to really provide good knowledge and or curriculum to help everybody sustain themselves during this time? Thank you so much for listening to what I had to say in regards to my perspective of an early childhood educator's role in this COVID-19 pandemic and how we could still do our part to help homes harmonize. From Nanny Miss Piercy and Sault Ste. Marie. Does that make me super nanny? Have a great day.